No, I wouldn't do this on the lake. Buckeye Lake is currently frozen, completely solid. Well, not solid, it's covered, which I've never seen in my life, but I've only lived around here. Whew. Might be water flowing under there. I think we're at 4 or 5 days above freezing now. Still just frozen, completely solid. When you think your goat's dead. Miss Journey. Miss Journey. Miss Journey. I see your eye opening. Oh, there's an ear twitch. Miss Journey. You okay? There you are. Good morning. I see somebody pooped. That's not a toilet, you know. It's a Hi. You were very much asleep. Oh, I got so much maintenance to do. Everybody's sleeping good tonight. It's been warm, guys. 50s during the day, 35s at night. Twinkie. Twinkie. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Are you wakesies? Oh, you could have been eaten by a lion. She's like, yeah, we don't have those around here. Hi, beautiful man. Good morning. Hi, mom and baby. Love how close these two are. I'm glad we kept her. Well, we're keeping everybody because I can't sell a goat to save my life, apparently. So that 2020 situation is still happening. So everybody bought a bunch of livestock, and a lot of people bought a bunch of goats. And they were selling for like $50 a piece, or $100 a piece, or $200 a piece. Now 2020 is over, and they want to sell all those goats for those same prices. And then everybody thinks, well, that's how much a goat costs for a good goat. And no, registration doesn't necessarily prove anything. Really, the only thing that proves anything is, you know, is milk testing. And that doesn't necessarily prove anything. That just, you know, somebody's put in the work and the effort and the time. You might have, this goat might be an epic milker and pass her milk test with flying colors, and then have a baby that does not do the same. Hi. But the market is deep in very, very, very cheap goats, or inexpensive goats. And everybody thinks that's how much they cost. And I might have to reduce price to move goats. But that is the business side of the selling of goats, which I don't enjoy. I just want people to have good goats and be happy. But at the same time, the lower you go in your price, generally speaking, not always the case, as in everything. I'm just generalizing. You end up sending some goats to some places that might seem a little bit sketchy, might even be a little bit sketchy, or they might be the most loved goats ever on the planet. I need you, ma'am, and I need you to stop being a particular weenie. Why did your mom leave, but you didn't leave? You're so chunky. I wanted to get you walking by because you have this little prancy thing you do, this little wobble. Doot, 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 doot. Look at you. Stop the pee. Get it, Miss Cookie. All right, I got a milk goat. All right, so how do I just keep working? I have this whole thing around the ring to clean up. I've already done one wheelbarrow, but I've milked Gummy, and she's going to finish eating all of her food. So while she's doing that, I'm just going to keep This is peasant hay, but it's dry, so I'm gonna throw it in a stall. And then I'm gonna get all this put in a wheelbarrow. So I just milk a goat, clean up some poop, milk a goat, do waters, helps get you in and out of here. Otherwise, I just milk a goat and then I'll sit there for 2 or 3 minutes and wait and do nothing. Take those 2 or 3 minutes, do something. Now, normally I would be able to get all of this done within a couple goats, but since I've been leaving hay on the floor because it's been so cold, I have a lot more hay to pick up. Thank you, dear. Bye. Go have fun with your friends. Hi, friends. All right, y'all, this bucket got away from me. It just got thicker and thicker with ice. I stopped messing with it. Girls had at least 15 gallons twice a day, so they had plenty of water. But so this one I was just like, we'll check that out later. It is solid. It's not quite solid. Yeah, it is solid. I froze my bottle in there, which is unusual. I'm going to get a couple other things done before I finish up in here, but I need to let everybody out. No point in having them stalled up when there's things I can do that don't involve them being in stalls. You fall down, big man? All right, babies. Specifically, Madam Snow. Hi, Madam Snow. You're the loudest baby we've ever had ever. There goes your mama. She just walked past you, babe. She just... Baby goats have been feeling the zoomies here with the warmer weather. Excuse me, ma'am. Journey, you're getting a lot of... Oh, are we good? Okay. You break your leg, I have to eat you. Goats don't do very well with one leg, but you're young, so you might. Well, y'all, yesterday was one of those days where just try to get as much done as I possibly can. That's why you guys kind of got a bit of a short video. Of course, you don't have to knock them off just because I leave them there. But they might have food in them. They might not. Of course, you know, my brain always goes 2 ways. If I had picked them up, they couldn't be knocked off. So yesterday I had to tear down my... Hi, Chai. You trying to get around the stinky boys? I don't know why you're out. You know how to get in here. Tear down my water softener system and do maintenance on that. Just normal, regular. As we say in Muskingum County, regular maintenance. My shark robot kicked the bucket. It was, here. I use and abuse this thing. You know, with the soap business, we have a giant air purifier that sucks all the air in the house and filters it, and then we have the shark robot, which I run basically about 3 times a day. 2 to 3, 2 at a minimum, because I need to. That is that. I need to. But basically, once it goes back and docks itself and then recharges, I send it back out. So however many times that happens in a day, that's what's done. So I've burned through 3 of them, technically 2. I'll tell you a funny story. It was mortifying and terrifying at the time. We had just remodeled our house. We planned on remodeling the house that we lived in prior to this and living there forever. And I had just remodeled the house, and then we decided we were gonna want a boat. So if you guys don't know the boat story, go back and look Zioncreekfarm that in Google. It should come up from goats to boats or whatever. I've told the story before. We wanted a boat, we ended up here. So we found this real estate agent. She is phenomenal. I would recommend her to anybody. She comes to the house. When I clean, guys, it's sparkle, shine. There's no dust. I don't clean. I scour, I scrub, I get the tops of everything, refrigerator, stoves, everything. She came in, she was like, wow, this is probably the nicest, cleanest house I've ever walked into. But I found some dust on top of your water heater. And I was like, I hate you. And she did. I had missed the top of the water heater in the basement. But she was going through with a fine-tooth comb. And she wanted to make sure that we sold. And I also like that she said, you know, when we bought the house, we didn't want handles on the cabinets for whatever reason. I don't know. We were in our 20s, late 20s. We didn't want handles, so we didn't get handles. And she said, you know, it'll really help the value if somebody walks in and they can see knobs on your cabinets, you know, where you put your dishes or where you put your food. If you put knobs on there. So we did handles and knobs, handles on all the drawers, knobs on all the cabinets. And she said the record I've ever sold a house was like 26 hours or 28 hours. And she is good, guys. Like, she is good. She has a huge network. I said, fine, you have less than 24 hours to sell our house. Within 24 hours, she had people lined up. And the house actually sold in 22 hours. And so we have people coming. And we had Nugget and we had Pishka. And Nugget was pretty young. She was very much a baby. So anyway, I kick on the robot, the Shark vacuum. It's driving around the house, you know, vacuuming the floor. I had put down all hardwood floors in the entire downstairs. So I'm running the vacuum. And I run upstairs to do something. And I come back down and Nugget had pooped. And of course, these people are going to be here in probably 15 to 20 minutes. She pooped and the robot grabbed the poop and proceeded to just smear it all over the downstairs. So I am like panic mopping. I took the robot, I threw it in the trash can. I started scouring and scrubbing everything. I'm mopping the floors. So technically I've only gone through 2 Shark robots. One of them I just straight burned out. This one, I've repaired it twice now. Yes, I tore it apart because the bump sensor wasn't working properly. So I tore it apart and fixed it. This time the little vacuum motor was making this horrible noise. I don't know what it got in it. It got something, it was making a horrible noise. So I had to tear that thing apart. So water softener system, water filters. We're on well water. If you guys don't know what that means they drill a big hole in the ground. We went down 120 feet. So you have this system in your basement that there's a pump that goes down in that hole, goes down 120 feet, and it pumps the water up into a holding tank. And that holding tank is pressurized. There's so much going on. Got baby fight going on over here, which is adorable. Sorry, I had to stop for that. How beautiful. Madam Snow is just doing a little popcorning over there, little kick flips. So what it does is sucks the water out of the ground, pulls it into this tank in your house. That tank has a bladder in it, if you think something like an inner tube. And that's pressurized. You literally take, for ease of understanding, you take a bicycle pump and you pump up this metal cylinder. So you put this air pressure inside this metal cylinder and the water fills that bladder. And then as it fills, that pressure gets more and more and more intense inside the tank. And then when you turn on the faucet, that pressure pushes that water out and up into your all your faucets, toilets, showers, all that. Well, what you generally have with the well system is you get sediment. After 20 years, you might not have any sediment, You also get all the natural minerals that are in groundwater. Now, this isn't surface water. This is water that flows through the rocks underground, like in an aquifer or something like that. So it's best way I can say, it's not surface water. So you're not getting junk runoff, generally, as long as your wellhead's not cracked or anything like that. So around here, we have very sandy, silty soil. And even 120 feet down, you're not drawing water from 120 feet down. Whatever level the water runs through the ground, we might have 60 feet of river, essentially just an underground river that runs past our well. You might have 60 feet of standing water in there. It's not standing, it's flowing through, but there's sediment. And so we use a lot of filters, and those filters get gunked up. So you have to periodically maintenance them about every 6 months. When we moved in, I was doing it every 3 months, because once the well was a fresh drilled well, you're going to get a lot of, when that water starts flowing through the hole you just made in the ground, it's going to wash sediment in and things like that. And then the biggest one that annoys me the most is dealing with the government. Of course, you guys know we pay our taxes. I say that out loud because when we're out at shows and stuff, I've talked to so many people. Hi, beautiful. You're such a sweet little angel. I'm glad we're keeping you. I didn't mean to poke you in the eye. I'm sorry. We talk to so many people that are like, I don't pay taxes on cash. We pay taxes on everything, you guys. I don't want to build a business that 20 years from now, if the business makes it that far, or if it goes into this massive business and maybe some large company like Walmart, just an example. I know a lot of you hate Walmart for whatever reason. Decides they want to put our soap in their stores, and they want to look at our sheets and our papers and our taxes, and I don't want any discrepancies. So I'm building for future. So we pay taxes down to the last penny. And Ohio has this, it's called Business Gateway, which is a horrible thing created by a politician who's never had to pay taxes on a computer system. It is horrendous. It's like they charged us $2 million to build it, and they paid somebody $1,000 to build it. Whatever happened to it's government, government is necessary, but they're not good with your money. So anyway, I begrudgingly pay my taxes. And through this gateway, they do everything. If you have a fee or you were late a day, it accrues a little bit of a payment. Well, something happened in April, and we were behind, and we got a penalty. And it never showed up in the system. And let me tell you before I say this, they do not care. I'm sure every time they call somebody, they're like, I didn't know. Well, we actually legitimately did not know. If we'd known, we would have just paid it. So this little fee was building up in the system in the background. And it ended up being like $75 since April. And so it finally showed up in the gateway January. We went in to put in our January sales tax and all that. And this fee showed up, and we're like, what's this from? Clear back in April, that's a bunch of baloney. But of course, they have attached fees to that, and then they have some interest that accrues because you didn't pay it. But anyway, baby goats are cute and very, very distracting. You're a baby goat too. My beautiful little baby. I called in because you have to call. You can't solve something like that on the computer. You have to call. And of course, I called in, and it takes you about 3 to 4 minutes to get through the whole telecommunication system. Press 1 for blah, blah, blah. I go through all of that. I get to the end, and it says, our representatives are currently experiencing a higher than average call volume. And then it literally hung up on me. I said, goodbye, and hung up. So I had to call back in. It said, your current wait time, when I got through all the crap again, your current wait time is 54 minutes. Would you like to stay on the call or have someone call you back? Well, because of what I do, I have my phone blocked. So if your number is not in my contacts, you can call me, but it's going to send you straight to voicemail. I'm never going to know it happened. So I had to stay on the phone. So I start tearing apart the vacuum cleaner, the Shark. I'm like, I have 54 minutes. I can probably get this done in 54 minutes. So anyway, the tax man cometh. They don't care about you or whether or not their system works properly or whether or not you got screwed over because the system didn't show your charge. They're just like, too bad, so sad. Pay it. So we're going to pay it. You could try to fight it, but it's just a waste of time and energy. So that was kind of my yesterday. And then I popped together that video for you guys, made dinner. I got a new smoker. We went to Rural King and they had this, I don't know if it's good or not. I've never smoked anything in my life. It's those little things like that. It just kind of time sucks your day. And got some of the garage cleaned out. We went to Rural King. They had this smoker there. It's an Oklahoma Joe. I'm telling you guys, I literally know nothing about smoking food. It's Oklahoma Joe XL 900, I think is what it is. And it was more than half off. It was the floor model. So they had already assembled it and put it there so you could see it. And they didn't have any available to buy because everybody had already purchased them. And so I was chatting with the lady and I'm like, well, I'll just buy that one. But I'm not buying it at full price. It's been sitting here. People have been fiddling with it. And so it was already half off. And she's like, well, I'll knock more off. And I was like, fine, take it. Just throw it in the truck. Throw it in the truck. And so I'm going on a journey of smoking food. So I smoked a barbecue rubbed pork shoulder. It was absolutely fantastic. I started my journey with an automatic feeder. It's like one of those pellet smokers. And it has a built-in auger. And so it has very good sensors and thermometers inside of it. And it just like self-feeds to keep the temperature right at what you need it to. So super easy to use. I would recommend them. This is not, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I would highly recommend that particular smoker at this point. I've had no problem with it at all. It takes about 15 minutes to get it going. I've always used propane. So I'm not used to this waiting 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, put that sucker on there and just let it go for 4 hours. And it was freaking fantastic. A beautiful baby boy. All right, I have rambled forever. And I am done now. I got to go get a hay down to the boys. Nothing behind those eyes. Are you dumb? No. Is it because you're a buck, though? Yes, 100%. Because look at these little beautiful little angels. Look at your face. Look at your face. Oh, my gosh, I'm being knocked over.